If you understand English but can't speak when it matters, you're not bad at English. You're stuck. Have you ever understood almost everything in English, but the moment someone looks at you and says, "So, what do you think?" your mind goes completely blank?
You know the words. You studied them. You practiced alone. This is English with EduWorld, where you don't just learn English,
You become confident in American English.
but when it's your turn to speak, everything disappears.
It's strange, right? Because 5 minutes ago, you were confident. You were following the conversation. You were even correcting grammar mistakes in your head. And then suddenly, silence.
Your heart beats faster, your throat feels tight, and your brain just says nothing.
So you tell yourself, maybe my vocabulary is not enough. Maybe my grammar is weak. Maybe I just need more practice. But what if the real problem isn't vocabulary? What if it's not grammar? What if it's not your English at all?
What if the real problem is fear?
Not fear of English, fear of being seen, fear of being judged, fear of sounding stupid in American English.
That small voice inside that says, if you speak and make a mistake, people will notice.
And in that moment, your brain chooses safety over expression. So you stay quiet.
And the worst part, you walk away thinking, I understand English, but I just can't speak it.
Today, we're going to talk about why that happens. Not the textbook reason, the real reason, the identity reason. And if you stay with us, you might realize there is nothing wrong with your English. There is something happening inside you, and once you see it clearly, you can finally break it. Maybe you feel frustrated. Not angry, not hopeless, just tired. Tired of knowing you can understand English, but still feeling small when it's time to speak.
So you tell yourself, I just need more vocabulary. If I learn 20 new words a day, I'll be fine.
And you try. You really try. Flashcards, apps, videos, notes in your phone.
But deep down, you know something feels off, because this isn't the first time.
Think about a real moment. You're sitting in a cafe, a foreign customer smiles and asks, "So how long have you been working here?"
You understand every word. How long? Working. Here. Easy.
But inside your head, there's chaos. Sentences appear, then collapse. Your brain starts checking itself. Is my tense correct? Is my pronunciation weird? What if I sound childish?
And instead of answering naturally, you say, long time.
Then silence. You feel it right away. That quiet disappointment. Not from them, from yourself.
Or maybe it's a meeting. Your boss asks, any ideas? You have ideas.
But your mind whispers, wait, make it perfect first. And while you wait, someone else speaks.
Later, you replay the moment in your head. I could have said that. I knew that sentence.
That's the struggle most learners never talk about. It's not a lack of English. It's the gap between who you are in your head and who you allow yourself to be out loud.
Inside, you're fluent. Outside, you're careful.
And the longer this gap exists, the more you start to believe a dangerous idea. Maybe I'm just not a speaking person. But that idea, it's not true. So let me ask you something honestly. When that moment happens, when your mind goes blank, when someone else speaks before you, do you feel small?
Not because you don't know English, but because you didn't allow yourself to use it.
If this feels like you, if you've ever walked away from a conversation thinking, I could have said more, comment ready. Not for us, for yourself.
Because typing that word means something. It means you're not pretending anymore. You're not hiding behind vocabulary lists. You're ready to face the real reason.
And I'm curious, when you stay silent, what stops you more? Are you more shy or more of an overthinker?
Do you freeze because you're afraid of people's eyes? or because your brain won't stop editing every sentence?
Be honest. Comment below. Shy or overthinker?
There's no right answer, but your answer tells you something about your identity.
And once you understand your pattern, you can start changing it. This is English with EduWorld, where you don't just learn English, you become confident in American English.
Not more grammar, a new identity.
So let's be clear about something. The problem isn't your vocabulary.
It's not grammar either.
The problem is you don't have a speaking identity yet.
A speaking identity?
Yes. Right now, you have a learning identity. You feel safe when you study. You feel smart when you understand. But speaking? That feels like exposure.
So the problem isn't English, it's that I don't see myself as someone who speaks?
Exactly. You still see yourself as someone who is trying to speak, not someone who speaks. And your brain protects your current identity. If you believe, I am shy, your brain will act shy. If you believe, I overthink, your brain will overthink.
That sounds uncomfortable.
Growth is uncomfortable. Let me tell you a story. Last year, we had a student. She understood almost everything, but in meetings, she stayed silent. After class, she spoke perfectly with me. In meetings, nothing.
What changed?
Nothing changed in her English, but everything changed in her environment. In class, she felt safe. In meetings, she felt evaluated. So we didn't teach her more vocabulary. We changed one small rule.
What rule?
In every meeting, she had to say one imperfect sentence. Not perfect, not impressive, just one.
That sounds scary.
It was. The first week, her sentence was simple. I agree with this idea. That's it.
That's easy.
Exactly. But notice something. She spoke. Her identity shifted 1%. The next week, she said, I agree with this idea because it saves time. Still simple, but stronger.
So the upgrade wasn't vocabulary, it was permission.
Yes, permission to speak before feeling ready. That's awareness shift. Now, let's do something practical. Imagine someone asks you, what do you think about this project? Your old identity says, wait, build a perfect answer. Your new identity says, start simple.
Like what?
Instead of, I think the project has many advantages and disadvantages that require deep consideration, try, I think it's a good start. Pause, then add, but we may need more time.
That sounds natural.
Because it is. Speaking in American English is not about long sentences. It's about rhythm. Short thought, pause, add detail. Let's try another one. Instead of, I don't know how to explain my opinion clearly, say, I'm not sure yet, but here's my first thought.
That feels lighter.
Because it removes pressure. Here's another. Instead of staying silent when you don't understand, say, can you say that again? Simple, confident.
That's so basic.
Basic works. Overthinking kills flow. Now, here's the micro shift. Old identity, I must speak correctly. New identity, I speak to connect. Feel the difference?
Yeah, one feels like a test. One feels human.
Exactly. Let's do one more example. At a cafe, someone says, how is your day going? Old you thinks, choose the best sentence. New you says, pretty good, a bit busy. Short, natural. Notice how that sounds more real?
It sounds like a person, not a student.
That's the goal. You are not training to become a dictionary. You're training to become expressive. And expression starts messy.
So the real upgrade is this. Speak earlier, speak simpler, speak imperfectly.
Yes, because fluency isn't speed, it's permission. The more you allow yourself to speak before you feel ready, the faster your identity catches up. So, if I wait until I feel confident, I'll wait forever?
Confidence follows action, not the other way around. Start small. One sentence in a meeting, one question in class, one comment in English today. That's how identity shifts, not dramatically, but consistently.
I think I get it. It's not that I can't speak, it's that I don't trust myself to speak.
And trust is built by evidence, small evidence, repeated. And when that happens, you don't become good at English. You become someone who speaks.
So what happens if someone doesn't shift?
If you stay here, you'll keep understanding everything. You'll keep nodding, smiling, saying it's okay, but inside, you'll feel invisible.
Invisible?
Yes, because your ideas stay in your head. Opportunities pass, not because you're not capable, but because you stayed silent one more time.
That hurts.
And the scary part? After a while, silence feels normal. You stop expecting yourself to speak. Old identity becomes comfortable. I'm just the quiet one. I'm better at listening.
And that becomes your story.
Exactly. But if you shift this, even slightly, you start to show up differently. Not louder, just present.
What changes first?
Eye contact, short answers, small opinions. Then something deeper changes. You stop asking, is this correct? And start asking, is this clear?
That's powerful.
Old identity, silent and careful. New identity, expressive and growing. One waits for confidence, the other builds it. And the difference? It starts with one imperfect sentence. So let's pause for a second. Not to learn a new phrase, not to fix pronunciation, but to ask a deeper question.
Who do you want to be when English shows up in your life?
If you're ready to become someone who speaks before feeling perfect, someone who shares ideas even when the sentence is simple, someone who uses American English to connect, not to impress, this is your next chapter.
Not a chapter about studying harder, a chapter about showing up.
Because confidence doesn't come from knowing everything. It comes from choosing to speak anyway.
And you don't have to do that alone.
Here, we're not chasing fluency as a goal. We're building a new identity, step by step.
One sentence at a time. One moment of courage at a time.
So if something inside you says, yes, this is me, if you feel ready to move from silent to expressive,
Stay with us.
subscribe and grow with us, not because we promise magic, but because we walk this journey together.
You're not behind. You're not broken.
You're just at the moment before change, and this moment, it matters. Before we close today, I want you to imagine something. Tomorrow morning, you wake up, grab your coffee, and someone asks you a simple question in English. And this time, you answer. Not perfectly, but naturally.
Not fast, but freely.
That's the shift. Because speaking English isn't about memorizing more words. It's about who you become when you decide to use them.
Today, you understood why you feel stuck. But in the next video, we'll show you something powerful.
We'll show you exactly how to build automatic speaking habits, so your brain stops freezing and starts responding.
Small shifts, real practice, no pressure.
Think of this as episode 1 of your new identity.
Episode 2, that's where you start speaking without waiting for permission.
And trust me, you don't want to miss that. Because this isn't just about English. It's about becoming the person who speaks up. We'll see you there.